Super Mario 64 is supposed to feel magical. Bright colors, fun music, goofy enemies, a plumber flying around paintings collecting stars. It's one of the happiest games ever made. So then explain this level. Why does Wet Dry World feel like a forgotten dream? When people talk about creepy Nintendo levels, this one always comes up, and honestly, I completely understand why. Because even as a kid, before internet theories and before YouTube videos, before creepy gaming rabbit holes, Wet Dry World just felt wrong. Now don't get me wrong, Super Mario 64 in general already had a weird atmosphere sometimes. You know, the endless stairs, Big Boo's haunt, hazy maze cave, the giant eel in Jolly Roger Bay trying to give children lifelong trust issues. This game had moments that genuinely felt unsettling. But Wet Dry World is different. It doesn't feel scary in an obvious way. It feels empty, and honestly, I think that's what makes it creepy. You jump into the level and immediately something feels off. The music is weirdly calm, the town looks abandoned, the buildings just don't make sense. It feels less like a Mario level and more like a place you accidentally discovered. And who built this place, by the way? There are floating platforms, random cages, tiny houses, individual structures underwater. It looks like civilization collapsed halfway through construction. And the water mechanic somehow makes everything even stranger. For anyone who somehow doesn't know, Wet Dry World changes depending on the water level. Enter high, the city floods. Enter low, everything becomes dry and exposed. And honestly, that mechanic is genius. But it also adds this weird unsettling feeling that the entire level is constantly changing around you. Like it's unstable. And then there's the atmosphere. This level just feels lonely. Not peaceful like Dire Dire Docks, more like someone used to live here. The music doesn't help either. It's upbeat on paper, but something about it feels off. Like the game is trying to convince you everything's normal while Mario explores an abandoned underwater city. And the crazy thing is a lot of people felt this way as a kid, before the internet started making conspiracy theories, because people independently had the same emotional reaction: confusion, uneasiness, curiosity. The idea is basically the level unintentionally creates anxiety or discomfort because of its design. And honestly, that sounds ridiculous, but also I kinda get it. It's basically that weird unsettling feeling you get from empty places that should have people in them, like an empty mall, schools at night, abandoned pools. Places that feel familiar but wrong, and Wet Dry World absolutely has that energy. The empty town area especially. You climb into this hidden section of a level and suddenly there's just a city. No explanation, no NPCs, no story, just silent buildings sitting in the middle of nowhere. And I honestly think Nintendo 64 graphics made it even creepier, because old games left things to your imagination. The textures were blurry, the environments were simple, everything felt dreamlike. Modern games explain this too much. Because of that, your brain filled in the gaps, and that's why so many old games feel weirdly emotional today, because they felt less realistic and more like memories. And honestly, I think that's why people still talk about Wet Dry World. Not because it's the best level mechanically, or because it has the best or hardest stars, but because it made people feel something. And I know some people hate this level. I've heard every complaint. It's annoying, it's confusing, the camera sucks, and okay, fair. The Super Mario 64 camera definitely moves like Lakitu is legally intoxicated. But I think people focus too much on gameplay efficiency and not enough on atmosphere. Because Wet Dry World sticks with you. You remember the weird town, the changing water, the strange music, and you remember how it felt, and honestly, that matters more than perfect platforming. Modern Nintendo would probably never make a level like this again. It's too strange and too quiet, too mysterious, but that weirdness is exactly why people still talk about it almost 30 years later. And maybe Wet Dry World isn't creepy because of internet conspiracies, maybe it just captures a feeling most games don't anymore. The feeling of being somewhere unknown, somewhere lonely. Somewhere that doesn't fully make sense. And honestly, that's part of what makes Super Mario 64 magical. It wasn't afraid to be weird. It wasn't afraid to leave mysteries unexplained, and Wet Dry World might be the perfect example of that. Or maybe I'm overthinking it, and this entire level just traumatized an entire generation of children. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come hang out and watch a video. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future.